welcome to the Popcorn Podcast. I'm Kylie Barron. I'm the Marketing Communication Director at Lincoln Heritage Council. Today, we're going to be interviewing one of our top-selling units, Unit 1555. In the first weekend out there, they ended up bringing in more than $6,000. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. Over to you, Chad.
So I'm Chad Paggio. I'm with PAC 1555 in the Wapiti district. I set our goal at $12,000 this year because that was roughly 20% more than what we sold last year.
So tell me, Chad, what was the incentive for your unit to start selling popcorn? What did you guys have in mind, and what made you pull the trigger on this year's popcorn sales?
So our account was not very big, like our bank account. So we had to, have our families contribute to pretty much every activity we did. Our goal is to make sure that we can, fund campouts within the PAC, fund all of our awards and adventure loops and everything like that. We want to make sure that we can fund that from the PAC without any additional cost to the families.
So can you speak a little bit about to the rewards that you've been giving out to some of your scouts? How do you keep them motivated to keep continuing to go out weekend after weekend and sell popcorn?
Well, when we hit our halfway point last weekend, we did a big pizza party with ice cream cake and things like that. We're hoping to cover summer camp possibly this year, or maybe half of summer camp for all of the scouts. And then make sure that, we can get out and do as many activities as we can.
So we talked a little bit earlier, and you were explaining to me just some of the planning and preparation that went into this year's popcorn sales for you all. Something about a whole bunch of spreadsheets or something like that you said that you were calculating a lot of numbers and you came to the conclusion of what?
So I looked at our average storefront sale for last year. And understanding that, we only had, I think, 3 or 4 scouts from last year that carried over to this year, and even some of those joined late into the popcorn season. So I took our average sales per storefront, kind of divided that amongst, our goal, or divided our goal amongst those storefronts, and kind of figured out how many we needed to go after. I kind of, took the local area and said, what do I think we're going to get? We did some Lowe's. I figured that might be lesser than, say, a Kroger location. Just because a lot of times you're going to have people that are running in and out because they broke something at home. And so kind of weighted the locations that were available that way to kind of estimate how many we needed to book. And then, I booked as many as I could. And we've done better per storefront than we did last year. So we've already exceeded our goal.
Wow. Now I'm curious to hear just a little bit of your thoughts around timing, and how are popcorn sales up front at the beginning of the sale different from what they're going to look like at the end of the sale in, a month from now?
Well, I wanted to make sure that we planned as many storefronts as we could at the beginning, because I am expecting sales to drop slightly, because a lot of the people that we've already asked at some of these storefronts, people that we're going to ask again, I expect them to sales to drop a little bit. So I wanted to get out strong and get as many sales as we could early on, so that as the customer base gets asked more than once, it's okay that they don't purchase every time.
Now tell me a little bit about the radius. How do you decide how far out you should let your scouts go and sell popcorn?
I tried to keep them within 30 minutes of kind of where our core area, like geographically where our families live. I tried to keep it within 30 minutes of that area.
Now, is that mostly because of travel time, or just resources in general, or does that have to do with how many kids are out in your unit?
Resources, I feel like, asking some of the scouts to do, 4 hours at a storefront, that's one thing. If they've got to travel 45 minutes, then put in 4 hours, then it's 45 minutes home. I feel like that puts a little bit more strain on the kids, and they're less likely to get out there and be excited about selling.
Now, I know you've only been out there one weekend now selling, but what storefronts have you seen to be the most successful?
Kroger, hands down, by 15%. I think any grocery store, Lowe's wasn't bad, but Lowe's is a little bit more challenging because they want you to be outside, whereas Kroger, you can be inside and you have that time, while the customer's grabbing a cart, or while they're picking up a flyer or looking at the whatever product they have in the lobby. With Lowe's, you've got a very small opportunity from when they clear the crosswalk till they hit the door. So you have more time to, relay your sales pitch to a customer at a grocery store.
Now, what piece of advice do you have maybe for a new unit that's selling this year, or what has just overall been the most valuable thing that you've found that are driving your sales?
Make sure the scouts are, selling, they're helping the scouting program. Make it personal. Make sure that, the scout is introducing themselves. Make it friendly, and, just make sure that they're out there speaking to people, not just saying, "Hey, do you want to buy some popcorn?"
Now, talk to me a little bit about the sales method in general. Does it matter what a scout's saying, or how they're standing, or what matters the most when it comes to a sales pitch?
So I'll give you my son's sales pitch, which I'm going to give credit to our Arrow of Light from last year, who's moved on to the troop level. It's his sales pitch that my son modified this year. His sales pitch is he'll approach the customer and say, "Hi, my name is Oliver. I'm with Pack 555. We're on a mission to get kids off electronics and into the wilderness. Can we count on your support?" At which point he brings them over and kind of passes them off to the leader at the table, or the adult. We, as the leader, I say, with the scouting program, we do things a little bit differently. We say thank you for a donation to our program with a gift of popcorn. Have I run through that? Over here we've got the sweet and salty caramel corn for $15, the white cheddar, the pop it yourself jar for $20. Then for $25 donation, you've got your choice of the 12-pack of microwave, last year's bestseller, salted caramel, or this year so far our bestseller is the s'mores. I kind of run through that so that they know the prices, but I feel like they've already kind of made a relation or a connection with the scout. I'm, not trying to ring them up and then hit them with a $25 bag of popcorn. I'm making it that they're donating to scouting.
Wow, well, thanks so much, Chad. That was incredible advice. I hope that everyone learned something. I know I sure learned a lot just from hearing from Chad. Thanks so much for being with us, taking the time to do the interview. For everyone else, stay tuned. This is podcast 1 of the Popcorn Podcast. I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll be interviewing some more amazing selling units out there. Just love to be able to share some resources, tips, tricks with everyone. So tune in next time. Thanks so much. Happy selling.